Hi, today I want to talk to you a little bit about gospel tracts, what they are, why they're important, and why they're an important tool for you. I think gospel tracts are extremely important because it's a very easy way to get the gospel into somebody's hand. And they can either tuck it in their pocket and walk away, or read it and then you can talk to them. It's just a really, really great tool to always have on you to be able to share the gospel with somebody. It's also kind of fun. My children and I play a game, Where Can We Leave the Gospel Tracts? And we try to find the most creative places that we can leave gospel tracts. So we've come up with some pretty creative places, and we're going to share that with you too. First off, how I carry my gospel tracts. I carry them in a plain Ziploc baggie. I've tried many different things, different wallets and such, and either they're not accessible enough, or they fall apart really easily, or they bend to the tracts, or anything else. I found this to be the easiest way. I can carry a variety in here. I do tend to carry a variety. It sticks right in my diaper bag. I open up the top and I can pull it out easily and either hand it to somebody or leave it someplace. So that is as simple as it gets to what you carry a gospel tract in. Some of the tracts that I use are from, actually most of the tracts that I use are from Living Waters, livingwaters.com. You can order them there. It's a fantastic ministry. I think that is the most biblical way to share the gospel. It's a great, clear, concise, biblical gospel message on the back. It goes through the law and the gospel, and it gives people good news of Christ after showing them why they need a Savior. And they do it very simple and very short. I think that that's the best place to get tracts. There are a lot of bad tracts out there, but God can use those too. I just prefer to go to the good ones instead of the bad. If I'm going to spend my money, I'm going to spend my money on that. These are some of the tracts that I carry around with me. This is the IQ test. It's from Living Waters, and it is about the size of a credit card. So what I do is I leave it in places that you would swipe a credit card, like a gas pump. When I go to the gas station, I swipe my card, take my card out, and while I'm pumping gas, I stick this card in. And the next person who pulls out has to actually pull it out in order to swipe their card. So it's a very easy way to leave the gospel for somebody to get. I use these. These are the curved illusions. These are some of my favorite ones, actually. These are great because we go to a lot of places that involve kids. Parks, doctor's offices, those kind of places. So there are usually kids. These are great for kids like 4 to 12 usually is a great range. And it's basically which one is bigger. When you switch it around, which one's bigger, and the one usually on this side always seems to look larger. They're actually the same size. It's an illusion. If you get this into the hands of the most outgoing kid in the room, they're going to run around and show everybody else what this tract is. And chances are you're going to have other kids coming up to you saying that they want it too. That means that you've gotten the gospel into the hands of a child who's probably never going to throw this away and put it in whatever special box that they have, and then you're giving it to the parent too. So the parent can go through and read the back. Usually I say something like there's a special message in the back, have your parents read it to you, or if they're old enough to read the back. It's, again, a great, easy gospel presentation. I carry around the Are You a Good Person pamphlet. This is one that I leave when we go into doctor's office and you're in the waiting room and there's the stack of magazines. I open up and I tuck these into nearly every magazine that I can. So when people are flipping through, they come across this. It looks like an insert and they can go through it and read it really quickly. It's also a good one that you can just put in somebody's hand anyway when you're talking to them. I have just started carrying the new 180 tracts. If you haven't seen 180, go to 180movie.com and watch 180. It's a very powerful documentary about the pro-life movement that shows the contrast between abortion and the Holocaust, and it's very, very powerful. These are the 180 tracts that I carry around. This is great to leave at a grocery store. You can leave it by the pregnancy test in that area. You can just leave it generally anywhere. I have also put these, if you're at the gas station and there's that little sign above, usually you can leave things up there, and this is one of the ones that I've started leaving up on that top place. So another one that I have is Science Confirms the Bible. I use these when I go to places that have people who are more likely to believe in evolution, like museums or those kind of places. I'll leave these around more often. I do leave these at gas pumps too, and on the top part, if I have time, I'll walk around to a couple other pumps and put them up there. And these are great. These are also great if you're debating somebody about creation versus evolution, or somebody who says that the Bible is not true. Put this in their hands and say, read this. And next time we're together, we'll talk about it, go through it, give them a couple of good resources to go and read, because sometimes you don't have the time to be able to sit with somebody, so this is a great cheat sheet to put in their hand, have them go research it, and obviously the Bible is true, so they will have to walk away knowing either A, they're going to believe wrong, or they're going to turn and they're going to believe right. These are my specific mommy tracts. If somebody says, boy, you have your hands full, I put one of these in their hands. This is children are a heritage from the Lord. They're a blessing, they're not a curse. We live in a world that doesn't see children as a blessing anymore. I am above average having 5 children, and expecting our 6th. That's completely freakish of nature to people, especially if you're in a grocery store and they're older. And I don't know why, but I get stopped very often to be told how full my hands are, or, any of the other multiple questions that people will ask, not many which are appropriate. But they ask, and so I kind of give them a quick rebuttal, put this in their hands, and that gives them a little bit of an answer. Something else I carry around with me is the Hell's Best Kept Secret CDs. You can get these really inexpensively from livingwaters.com. If you've never heard Hell's Best Kept Secret, go to livingwaters.com, listen to it. It's a vital message on evangelism. It will show you how to biblically share your faith, and it'll also give you answers and great analogies to be able to use when you're talking to somebody. I carry it in both Spanish and English because we live in Florida, and there are a lot of people who speak Spanish here. So I carry it in both languages in case I run into somebody who does speak Spanish and there's a language barrier. I have something to put in their hands that they can actually listen to that's going to go through the gospel with them. Something else I carry is thanks for listening to me. This is again from Living Waters. This is after you've gone through the gospel presentation with somebody, after you've taken the time and really gone through and told them who Jesus is. This kind of goes over some key points that you're going to want to hit on when you're discussing the gospel with somebody or discussing Jesus with somebody. There's a little place for your stamp on the back. I put my website stamp on there. It's cute, so people usually are apt to keep it. Like my daughter likes to keep one whenever she sees one. I carry around my own personal business card that I just have in case I talk to somebody and we hit it off and I think they're going to have more questions. This is just their way to contact me. I also carry around, which I think is one of my favorite things, is my favorite things card. There are a lot of websites and ministries and pastors and teachers that I will throw out there when I'm talking to somebody. And sometimes it's hard to remember who all of them are. You go to vistaprint.com, you can get I think it's like 250 business cards for free if you just pay shipping. You go on there, you design your own card with your favorite ministry websites. Mine has Answers in Genesis, I'llBeHonest.com, Hell's Best Kept Secret, and then my favorite pastors, teachers, evangelists, and also my ministry website on here. If you put this into somebody's hand after you're done talking to them, you can give it along with the thanks for listening to me. It's just a way to be able to bring them encouragement, to give them more to go and research too after talking to them. One of the important things when you're giving somebody a tract and you kind of don't see any fruit in them in that moment, remember that salvation's of the Lord. Anything you say to that person, even if you don't have the perfect answers or the perfect solution to every problem that they throw at you, what's important is that you've put something in their hands so that God can take that, stir conviction in their heart, and bring them to Himself. Our job is we're just the messenger. We're just bringing it to them. What's important is to change your life, to go and bring someone the gospel. It's the greatest gift that you can possibly give somebody. And that's about it. So that is how to give out a gospel tract. That's where to give out a gospel tract. And that's how I give out gospel tracts. Bye.